All right. Hope you had your cup of coffee. We're going to talk about the SOAR concept. Okay, security orchestration, automation, and response. So, what is the SOAR concept? The SOAR concept is structured. Mark, are we good to go?
Yeah, it's filming, yeah.
Okay.
You're on video, man.
I'm on video. Smile for the camera. So again, we're doing this on video so it can be accessible to everyone else that are not here in the room. We're going to put it on our website and we're going to share it with you. And at the end of the day, those of you that will stay with us, at the end of the day, will get something small but that can help you with a lot of your struggle, day-to-day struggle from us, from ECS and CyTech. So free of charge, something to wait for at the end of the day. It's about awareness training, just give you a heads up. So let's talk about SOAR. What is SOAR? SOAR is the orchestration of all moving parts and pieces of my response process. There is what we call CIR, Cyber Incident Response process, program, plan, whatever you want to call it. But it's the Cyber Incident Response. So when that time comes and we need to act, we don't just sit and plan. This is the game. This is money time. This is why we get paid the big bucks. Because the organizations want to rely on us to be competent and to be able to do this part for them. So if you make the CISO becomes the orchestrator, making everybody play well together. Okay? And then we have a beautiful music of incident response. It sounds beautiful, it's not so pleasant experience. Those of you that actually went through incident response know that it's, let's pray to God that this thing will end and we can all go home. Okay? So, SOAR is structured from two: the security automation and the security orchestration. And it's in that order on purpose. Even though SOAR, orchestration, comes before automation, in real life, we do automation before we can do the orchestration. Okay? So let's look at the automation first. We have all this wonderful technology. All this wonderful technology that we want to utilize to its fullest. We want to make the firewall work for us. We want to make the antivirus work for us. We want to get the reports. We want to see the dashboards. We want to be in control. We want them to work for us. That's why we paid $8 million for a firewall, right? So we expect technology to work for us. And when we look at the security operations centers, day-to-day work, we can see that the movement in security operations is toward automation. There's a lot of repetitive work. The message that we concluded last presentation, move to technology that does more automation, it's that. SOCs today, they do more automation. They take the repetitive work and automate it. So people will not make their mistakes in those repetitive works. Repetitive work makes it boring for all of us to work. So that one achieves these objectives. And those of you that will attend our CISSP training or any training that we do, we continue this conversation in those training programs. We constantly talk about your objective. So what is your objective as a CISO? What is your objective as a SOC manager? So the objective behind the security automation, one of them is to limit human error in repetitive work. Another one is to give the SOC team a more interesting job to do. If they do the file analysis all day long, they get bored. Bored people make mistakes. Bored people get confused. And they think that they deserve more. And they don't remember that they work for the boss that pays them money. That's why they're bored. We need to keep them occupied with good stuff. We want the SOC people, right? Whoever here works for in a SOC, right? We want you to be interested in your job. We need this to make an impact on what you do every day. We don't want you to just come in and just do your job. Okay? And another objective is to bring the process to life. And this is something that we can constantly say about technologies. Technologies bring process to life. The process behind this is the incident response process. Okay? That's why we have automated technology. Now, the orchestration side is another side. Security orchestration is when we take all these moving parts and we make them sing the same song, play the same rhythm. Okay? Is when we want them to do the cyber incident response process, and we want them to be involved as much as possible in that process. We don't want any technology just sitting on the side and waiting for us to ask for it to do something. This is the orchestration part. Okay, the orchestration part, we are achieving 4 of the 6 phases of security. The NIST of the US government wrote this NIST CSF cybersecurity framework. They had 5. It's identify and prevent, detect, respond, and recover. We added 2 more to our methodology in CyTech. We added the investigate, so it's not just enough to recover. I want to know where it started. I want to know the root cause, and I want to deal with it today so it won't happen again tomorrow. And also, I want to be in a position to predict. As much as we predict the weather, right? What's the weather like today? What is it going to be tomorrow? So I want to be able to see the weather of cybersecurity. So security orchestration takes the detect. Detection is a big part. Respond, recover, and investigate all in one place called SOAR, Security Operations Center. The key benefits of SOAR, again, less human error, satisfied employees of the SOC, collaborative approach with IT, because a lot of our controls of the security operations are within IT. Not everything is on us. We have logs there, we have log collectors there, we have patching there, we have server management, we have admins. It's all within IT. We need to work with them, with the IT controls. Better transparency to your senior management and immense return on investment on your OPEX, operative expenses. Okay? OPEX is a big word. In public companies, you probably heard that phrase, OPEX and CAPEX. And if you haven't, we can talk about this later on, but OPEX is a big one. If you can show profit and ROI, return on investment on OPEX, it's big. The bigger one is the CAPEX, by the way. Okay. No, sorry, the other way around. Now, this was the concept of SOAR. Now, I'm going to share with you my own personal experience with SOAR, with security orchestration, automation, and response. Okay? And that project was started back in 2015 when the term SOAR didn't even exist. It was the first automation project in the US government, in the history of US government. I didn't realize it when I entered that project. But it came out to be this big project, and that big of a deal, that every one of the 84,000 different governments in the US study this project today. What we did in Colorado is a beacon of today's SOCs all over the government in the US. And this is what I'm here to bring in front of you and share with you the experience of my project called CISO. That's the name code I give it. It's not too hard. It's Cybersecurity Operations Center. Okay? It's not really a code. Yeah.
Before this one, how far is automate actually the whole process?
The whole process?
Which is actually after the implementation of SOAR,
Uh-huh.
the technology. You know that there's a lot of incidences coming now and then. It's very difficult. It should be working 24 hours. So I don't know how far, in terms of also a new attack in nowadays, and new intelligence also. The other thing, how it should be effortless.
Effortless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which area actually we need to involve or an analyst should see, or a thing that can let the professional interpret on the process.
So thank you for this question. I really appreciate this question. You know why? It's a really good question. And when I say that, you know why? When I say that this is a really good question, it's normally because I have a slide in it. So bear with me, but we're getting there, okay? So yeah, this is exactly what I'm going to talk about, okay? Share my experience, and hopefully this question will be answered later on. If not, we can discuss more, okay? So back in 2015, I was appointed as the CISO for the Addis Ababa government in Colorado. Those of you that are not familiar with the political map of the US, Colorado is a purple state. Do you know what a purple state is? Purple state means that it has a balance, a very delicate balance between Democrats and Republicans. The Republicans are the red ones, the Democrats are the blue ones. When you mix them, you get purple, right? So Colorado is one of 9 purple states in the US. That means that when election comes, election day, the first Tuesday of every November is election day in the US. Also in 2015, when election comes, Colorado is one of the targets for cybersecurity, one of 9 main targets of cybersecurity in the world. Because whoever is trying to affect those election results will come to Colorado. Because a swing here or a swing there can tilt the results to either way. We saw that big time in 2016 in the Hillary and Trump presidential election. But that was after this one. So we'll get it. So when I was appointed as a CISO, what's the first thing that you do? The first thing that you do when you sit on that, before you sit on that chair actually, is to ask, so what is it like to be a CISO here? And the question was answered that we don't know. We hired you. We want you to cover this for us. We don't know what we want. And you know what? We have no idea what we have. So when I asked, have we experienced any breach? Don't know. Have we experienced any malfunction, error, massive error that shut down the government? We don't know. What's the security landscape? We don't know. We hope you can answer that. Okay, thank you very much. The burden on my shoulders became heavier and heavier with every second that I realized that this was the job that I chose to do. Now, I could quit. And my boss told me after a week, after a weekend, the first weekend, he was like, I'm surprised you're back. I'm surprised you're back. Because he realized that I'm pretty frustrated with there's nothing, there's no answer. So we didn't have any incident management process, we didn't have the people, and we didn't have real technology. So the first thing I did after mapping all this environment, and mapping this part of the SOAR, I put together that project called CISO. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through the same report that I gave the government 9 months later about the project, about the spending, the money, what we did with it, how it's a return on investment, the people that we need to continue working on that efficiently. The same presentation that I gave the government and government officials standing in a public hearing, and if you haven't experienced that, or are you familiar with public hearing in the US, the government? You stand there, you have this podium, you stand there, and you speak with a microphone. There are people behind you, It's like court, almost like court. And you speak to government officials. There are 11 of them sitting in a high chairs behind high desks, and it's being videotaped in real time to everyone in the world, because it's the public's right to know everything that happens in the government. And when I'm there to report about $1 million spending, everybody should know where the taxes went to. So it's that moment that I realized that, oh my God, this is big. Thankfully, I have something to present. So I'm going to present the same presentation to you guys today. First thing first, objectives. When I took this job, sat with my boss, sat with his boss, the government official, and asked them, what are our objectives? Why am I here? What do you want me to do? With their answers and everybody else's answers on senior management, I put together these 6 objectives. First, achieve 100% cybersecurity awareness. I want everybody to know cybersecurity is important. I want everybody to know that there's someone to speak to. I want everybody to know how to contact. So again, not working behind the desk. Now, I want to achieve 99% cyber visibility of the county. Why 99%? Because I can never achieve 100%. And there's always going to be this dead spot that I didn't realize that was there. But the more visibility, the more proactive we can be. And then build proactive cybersecurity organization. I want people to work toward what's coming, not react to everything that is coming. Okay, to work before it comes, and implement auditable security controls. I want to be able to measure the progress. Also manage a risk-based cybersecurity organization. I want to make wise decisions and not just run in the wild and spend my money or spend the taxpayers' money on everything that I see. Not everything that sounds urgent is really urgent. That's risk-based approach. And also, think of it this way. I targeted this cybersecurity to be as a service. So I want government officials and I want department heads to come to me and say, Chen, I want you to train my users. Chen, I want you to run a pen test on my application. Chen, I want you to run a risk assessment, because long ago we ran a risk assessment, it wasn't good. That's what we've done. When you set this objective, you make cybersecurity kind of a shop inside the house, because I can now provide services, and people can buy from me services, right? It makes us approachable. So the CISO had 4 phases. This is the first one. Every phase started with a question. Okay, I didn't know that this project will take 9 months. So every one of you that designs a project, they put together a Gantt, right? You put together a map. You say, okay, this month I'm going to do this month I'm going to do that, it's going to be that spending. Kiss this program goodbye, because it doesn't work this way. I planned for this project to be 3 months. It ended up to be 9 months. And I worked very hard every day of that project, on the success. It succeeded eventually, hopefully. So the first phase started with the question, what do we have in place? And I'm asking that question, what is the answer that I'm expecting to get? Cybersecurity professionals? Firewall. What else? Firewall? Working. Check.
Dedicated security unit.
Dedicated security unit. What else? What? Budget. What? People to work with, processes, incident response plan, something, right? You're expecting something. So, the answer I got, the immediate answer was that we have all this technology. We have firewalls and antivirus and DLP and whatnot. We have all this technology, and it collects logs. So that was my answer. That it collects logs. If you want to know what happened, go to the logs and look for your answer there. Awesome. Now, how many logs do we collect? Hundreds of millions of lines every day. Good luck with it. I literally got this response. Good luck with that. Okay. Well, ran a quick analysis and realized that no cyber detection, no visibility, no response capabilities, and cyber incident response was never tested. We are walking blindfold. We are guessing where to step, and we're hoping not to step on a landmine. So far it works, or we think it works. And one of the questions that I got when I got this position was, you know, why do we need you? You look like a nice guy. Like, why do we need you? We didn't have any incident 10 years ago, the past 10 years, and we don't know of any incident. It's like, wonderful. This is exactly why I cannot sleep at night. Because if we had an incident, you would know. So we're pretty much walking blindfold. Next phase was after the initial analysis, was to ask the question, what are we dealing with? So we implemented a SIM. We implemented QRadar. That was the first step of technology that we didn't have, was to purchase QRadar and to have IBM send the professional services to us and help us put together the SIM. The SIM is a security incident and event management, right? So put together a SIM for us that can now aggregate, collect all the logs to one place and analyze them and correlate the events. So if there was an event, for example, Monday morning, an admin account was created. Later on, before noon, that admin account transferred 400 gigabytes from the local drive to Google Drive. And then, before the end of the day, that admin account was deleted. Every one of these events is okay, is legit. But when you look at the whole story, now most likely you have an incident, a cyber incident, right? An admin from today transferring 400 gigabytes and get deleted by the end of the day. This is an incident. And we had to have the SIM, the QRadar for that matter, we had to have that in place to tell us this story, to be able to look at all these logs all over the place and correlate the events, and so say, okay, there's an event here, there's an event there, and okay, now I have a flag of an incident, potential incident. I'm struggling with myself whether to give you the numbers or to ask what you think with the numbers. So let me ask you. Given the fact that I asked IBM to show me everything on the network, show me every mobile device, every workstation, every firewall, every switch, every router, every in and out, how many lines of logs did we have in 24 hours? We had 4,000 inputs. How many lines of logs? Billions? No. 24 hours, man. You're thinking doomsday. I like that, because we're going to get to that. No, not billions. We had 150 million events every 24 hours. 150 million things that happened and got registered on log. We had 150 million lines of logs, new lines of logs, every day. Every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's a lot. This is over 54 billion logs every year. But these are not cyber incidents, right? So out of these numbers, take a guess. How many real cyber incidents did we have? Real attacks on the government. Not really. If it was billions, I'm sure I wouldn't continue. We had 400 real cyber incidents every 24 hours. 400 attacks on our assets, on our data, on our election system, on benefits, on employees, on senior management. 400 attacks, cyber criminals trying to hurt our operation every 24 hours. This is the answer that a CISO will look for. Okay. Now I have a number. With this number, I can go to my senior management and ask for a budget for 30 more people. 30 more people in a government with real cyber incidents every 24 hours. And as I went home, I couldn't sleep because I knew that they continue. They don't wait for me to wake up in the morning, okay, Chen is back, now we can continue with our attack, right? They continue during your long weekend, 4th of July long weekend, 4-day weekend, you're out and they're in your systems, and you know that you don't have the manpower or technology or processes to deal with it. Holy. So what does it mean? First of all, we could get an insurance. We could buy insurance, transfer the risk to others. Or we could just say, okay, this is what we deal with, let's deal with it. We didn't see anything the past 10 years, you don't have to look now, right? We could ignore it. We chose to get to work. We chose to get to work and fast. And this is why the project didn't end after 3 months. Because the project initially was to implement the SIM, to get visibility. But I didn't stop there, because with these numbers, it would be negligence on the verge of almost crime against my workplace to ignore these numbers. That's why we moved to the next phase. Phase 3, we chose to connect the dots and say, okay, now we need technology. Because we have incident response plan in place. We have people and train other employees as well on their part of incident response. But now we need technology to support the process. QRadar we acquired for detection. Hexadite, which was sold in 2016 to Microsoft, we acquired to do incident response automation. Darktrace also helped us do response, but also helped us recover, because Darktrace is what we call the immune system of the organization. And eventually, CyTech helped us investigate and inform senior management on what happened. Now it's the time to invest in technology. Because we answered the question, because we mapped the process, and we understand what kind of incident response we need in place. That's when technology comes in. I'm not saying don't buy technology, but buy wisely. When you have the process in place and you know the numbers, now it makes sense to spend the money. Also, we map this technology to our goals. And as you can see, 4 of the 6 objectives were met with this technology. So it always goes back to my start point, which is security objectives. What am I trying to do here? Why am I here? Okay? Phase 4 was to say, okay, I'm taking a defense in-depth approach. Those of you who are not familiar with this term, please come to me and we can speak more about this later on. It's what we call security, layered security layers. Okay? So we start with the outside layer of prevention, and the guys from INSA, do you remember the presentation, the regulation that I presented to you guys? It's this. It came from this. Okay? You can see the layers here. So we started prevention. Prevention is on IT. Prevention is on IT. Let me emphasize this. Running your firewall is not cybersecurity job, because you need to audit that firewall. You need to make sure it works. Okay, you cannot audit yourself. If you manage the firewall, you miss the purpose of cybersecurity. Okay, so let IT do the prevention of technology preventative controls. This is IT. You, cybersecurity experts, direct them. Set the objective. Let them know what you want from them. Okay? They will run the technology. After prevention comes detection. Detection is the most important layer of cybersecurity. Let me say that again. Detection is the layer where cybersecurity shines. This is why you are here. This is why you are hired. Because we want you to be able to tell us when we fail. It's like that light bulb in your cars telling you need to go to the shop, you need to get a repair here and there, you need to put some fluid in your washers. Okay? This is your detection. The detection, from moment of detection until going back to prevention, the cycle, this is cybersecurity law. This is what we do. We don't just maintain systems. In case of an incident, this is our world. This is why we chose this profession. When you detect something, you want it to be as quick as possible, because you want to move to the next layer, which is respond. Now, you know what happened, you want to respond, quickly respond to it. And you respond with all these great capabilities, people and processes, but your technology is as automated as possible. And we'll get to respond in the next one. I'll show you the technology that's behind it. After responding, you need to recover. You contained the damage, you responded, you have your ransomware contained, now you need to go back to business. So you recover with whatever disaster recovery plan you have, capabilities, sites, people, training, everything you have on recovery, okay? You go back to business. Going back to business is one thing, but now you need to run your investigation. That's another layer. Investigation is run by security, and it's run by security on IT. That's why we cannot be under the same roof. Because when something happens, we want to be able to investigate it, and we want to be able to tell the organization, this is what happened, and these are the areas that we need to fix. And also, there's another very important layer of intelligence. Invest in intelligence, okay? So go to external sources and ask, what do I look like? Douglas County government in Colorado, what do we look like in the eyes of our attackers? So we know what to prepare for. You'll be amazed to know how much information we find on the dark web on our clients. And we include that in our packages. We don't even charge extra money for this. Because we want to do intelligence. If you invest in intelligence, you spend less on wars. That's the main asset of Israel. That's really what we learned over the 70 years of existence. Let's invest in intelligence so we spend less on wars. So, giving you the numbers, from prevention to prediction in numbers. We monitored 4,000 endpoints and network equipment. Everything that we had, I wanted to know everything that is happening. We came to this number, 150 million events every day, and also 12 million data flows. So any one of you who's familiar with Curator of IBM knows data flow are really talking about the data that is involved with the event and not just the system. There's the system, but there's also the data. And we managed to map 12 million data flows every day. Where does this data go to? What is the potential damage of this data as you breach this system and that system? Data leakages, everything. We could map that now. We responded to almost all 400 offenses automatically. This answers your question, I think. We responded to 400 offenses. 99.7% of those offenses were responded automatically. And I'll get to that in a second. Recovery was shortened from the average 256 days to just 7 hours. We had a ransomware attack. Started at 9 o'clock in the morning. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we already had the investigation report. Everything was legal. Everything was dealt with. 256 days to 7 hours. That's a lot of money. That's how cybersecurity makes money, right? That's what we talked about. How do we make money? How do we justify ourselves? Here. Take just this part. Make recovery quicker than the average organization, and that's your problem. Also, we ran tens of thousands of investigations every day on incidents, on cyber incidents. That means that we had machine learning capabilities. Now, with every attack we had, we got better because we learned. We sandboxed the files, we learned the ways, we analyzed the code, and we improved our systems. Think about it. We save money, and we teach other governments about our findings. That's a lot.